And if you don't listen to that whisper, it might give you that afternoon slump. And if you still don't listen, you just have another coffee because, you have to make it through the workday. So it'll energize you and push you through. And, that works for now. But like Counselor Shelley said in the episode, it's like trying to run on a sprained ankle. You might move forward, but you're going to cause a lot of damage. So you hobble along until suddenly your body starts getting a little bit louder. You're exhausting, causing you to get emotional over little things. You get negative, or maybe you have a little superhuman emotional stamina so that you manage to not bite anyone's head off or cry in the shower before supper time. Kind of like taking a massive painkiller for the pain of your broken ankle. It doesn't fix the problem, it masks it. But even though you might have made it through the day, after a while, maybe it takes days, weeks, months, that's when your body finally gives up with the whispering and shouts, "You're not listening." So then you get sick. Now, this sickness might be physical, it might be emotional, it might be your mental health. It can happen in a lot of different ways. Maybe it's just a simple cold or a flu. So you're down for a few days to just kind of, okay, this is time for you to rest and not make decisions. Or maybe it's a full blown breakdown. Or maybe it's chronic disease or a heart attack. It could be all kinds of things. Not listening to your nervous system is a mistake, always. But what's causing your nervous system to be in an uproar is because these decisions that didn't feel safe, it's not because you didn't understand, it's that you're not treating the underlying problem. Is this landing for you, or am I sounding a little bit crazy? Let me know in the chat if this is making sense or not. From here, once you start to realize that, okay, there's something going on here, I need to do something about this, there are two paths. I'm not sure that we made that clear in this episode. The first is what to do in the moment that you're feeling overwhelmed. And the second is how to prevent future decision fatigue. So, in the moment, you want to make sure that you take that pause. We have a free guided nervous system reset meditation available from Counselor Shelley. The link is in the description so that you can take a look at that, and it'll help you take the tension down a notch if you're in the moment and you need that. If you don't have time for a full meditation, maybe a few deep breaths with longer exhales is a good place to start. And give yourself permission not to decide right now. This will relieve the pressure on your nervous system. And sometimes this really can get to you because right in the moment, you feel pressured. You've got all this on your mind, you've got all this going on, and you need to deal with it. But once you've dealt with it for that time, it's time for you to let it go with grace. And when you're in a better space, then it's time to work on exactly why this is happening and how you're going to prevent it from happening again. Because it's great to have tools to deal with something in the moment, but if you don't deal with the root, it's just going to keep coming up and compounding. So, schedule some time to prevent this from happening again. Do it when you're not already feeling decision fatigue. So, if you know that by supper time you're done, then don't plan this for in the evening. Maybe you plan it for a morning that the kids are sleeping over at a friend's house or something to that effect, right? Find the time that works best for you so that you're not already dealing with something. Coach Joyce talked about this during the episode, so let's take it a little bit deeper. I've heard the quote, or you must have heard the quote as well: fail to plan is planning to fail. So think about the places that you often get tripped up during the day. What decisions can you make ahead of time? For example, maybe you want to start going out for a walk in the mornings when you get up because you know that after going for a walk, you feel clearer and better off for the day. So maybe you want to put out your workout clothes or your walking clothes and shoes the night before so that it's less of a decision in the morning going, oh, well, am I up for this or not? Um, Coach Joyce in the episode talked a little bit about meal planning, planning ahead of time what you're going to have for supper because if you know that that's going to be a stressful time for you, if the decision is already made, then that'll make things a lot easier for you. And then that's one less thing you need to do when you're in a high pressure situation. Finding time to do some calendar scanning. Where's a good place for you to insert different things? And okay, well, at this time of the day, I'm really stressed. So, what decisions can I make ahead of time? Also, the power of routines. The thing about routines is they can be really difficult to get into, but once you're into it, you've made the decision one time and then you just follow through regularly. It doesn't have to be complicated. You just need to continue to do what's working for you. And you need to give yourself grace if that doesn't work out the right way. Once you find that routine and you know you've made the decision ahead of time, and it's just that little bit less that you need to worry about. I've often heard of people having, of course, you've heard of morning routines, and then you've heard of sleep routines as well. But someone referred to it as opening and closing. So this person, I wish I could remember who it was, but I don't. Um, it's a famous person. They talked about how they used to work in a food place, like a pizza shop or some sort of restaurant or something. And they had a certain routine that they had to do every time that they opened the store. And then there was a certain routine that had to be done at the end of shift or the end before they close the store every night. So they do the same thing in their house, right? They have a certain routine to open the day and then a certain routine to close the day. And it helps them to monitor. So that might be something worth thinking about as well. And maybe even routines throughout the day. So if you struggle with afternoons, maybe you have an afternoon routine. Just a few things to think about. Again, it's so difficult to do this without actually speaking with you one on one to help you with that. Um, yeah. And so digging into why your nervous system gets triggered or even the planning ends up being the painkiller, it can be hard when you try to do it alone, especially if you're too close to the problem or if you're speaking with someone else who's really close to the problem. They might not have the perspective that you need. So, if you consider yourself on the ground in the forest, you're tired and a little lost, and you look around and all you see is trees or obstacles. You need to get up to the tallest tree or a hill so that you can get a different perspective and see where the trail is, see where the best path forward is. Either that or have a guide who's been trained in this area to help you choose the right path. Considering someone like a Sherpa when you go to doing mountain climbs and things like that. You have somebody who knows what they're doing and can guide you in the right direction. So if you can't get that perspective on your own, which admittedly is so hard, getting that Sherpa would really help you out. All right. I'm going to wrap up here. If you haven't watched episode 14 yet on decision fatigue, head over to the episode here on YouTube or visit the blog if you'd rather read that. The links are in the description so you can take a look, watch, read, whatever feels good to you. Let us know if you have any questions. And if you're sitting there thinking, I need a space to figure out what I actually need, we have two ways that you can get that help. We have a coach match quiz. If you're tired to trying to willpower your way through fatigue, take our free quiz. It matches you with a coach who fits your specific patterns so that you don't have to figure it out alone. Or if you already know someone that you really want to work with, like maybe you've been watching the show and you have a specific favorite coach that resonates and really seems to understand you, You can always head over to our team page, which is betteryou.coach/team. Choose your coach and book your free consultation. Again, it's free. It's a conversation. It might give you the tools that you need to figure out exactly what your next step is, or you can move on to working with the coach and getting that roadmap put into place and getting the accountability that helps you get that next step put in place, as well as the awareness to be able to work on it on your own eventually. Or in Counselor Shelley's situation, she might be able to help you heal something from your past. Whether you get help with us or someone else, we really want you to thrive as your version of a better you. So make sure that you're getting the help that you need because you know what? You're important. So I'll leave you with this thought from Coach Sarah. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't always have to be right away. Trust yourself. Thanks for chatting with me today. You matter. So please take care. See you next time.